Cool. Rohan Patel, comic book movie. Hey, how are you?
Hi Rohan, how's it going?
Good, how are you? Thank you. The show is awesome, and so I just wanted to get started with um, Jonathan, since you've already explored the future with several things, and including Westworld recently, but this is a much different where you're like exploring a world where the population has dwindled. It's a lot different than what you typically expect from a futuristic sci-fi series. So what kind of themes were you exploring, wanted to explore here that you hadn't explored previously?
Yeah, it's as if we've been in our little spaceship exploring the future for a few years, and now we've linked up with the giant William Gibson mothership. Right, we kind of hooked up to it, and it's taking us into uncharted territories. Gibson, for me, hugely influential, brilliant science fiction auteur, and so just fun to be hanging on for a ride into his fetid imagination. And I think one of the things that he's exploring, one of the reasons, and I grew up reading his books, but with the Peripheral, one of the things that he does, which I'd never seen him do before, is it brings it a little bit closer to home. You have two distinct timelines that we're exploring here: 2032, 2099, and I don't even know which one I'm more enamored of. The near futurism, which feels right there and a little scary, and very easy to wrap your head around, where you've got small communities in America that are now, the big box stores have emptied out, and it's just a little corner of it is a fabrication store, and you got a bunch of veterans with implants, and then the far future world where Gary's character lives, which is just mind blowing. So, in terms of themes, it really covers an awful lot of territory: the end of the world, the beginning of the next one, and everything in between.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually in North Carolina right now, so it hit a lot of your the 2032 scenes hit very close to home.
We should
Uh,
Asheville. We were very close to home.
yeah.
Mhm.
So Gary, your character Wilf is trying to he finds himself in an interesting position. So like without getting into spoilers, but like where do you from episode 1 to episode 8, where do you expect us to or where did you want to take this character and where can we expect to leave him before we head into season 2?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, without saying too much, there definitely is a journey with him. I think I always see Wolf being very like strongly connected to Flynn, Chloe's character. There's a sort of mirroring thing that's happening between them. Whereas they meet with because of this circumstance, and I think they have this impression of each other where um, they don't really consider each other as human beings. They know they are real people, but they both have a mission. I think what you see with Will over the course of the series is that how he basically just he finds the humanity in Flynn and her world, and he really starts to care. Um, I can't say too much because there are certain things that he
Yeah.
he's on a mission and he's trying to find answers for things which I can't speak
Yeah.
about right now. But yeah, I think that I love that the art between him and Chloe's character, where he just basically starts to care for her, and that kind of changes the whole dynamic and his whole approach to everything else. Like past that point, I think he's just very much. I don't know. I can't say much about the character other
Yeah,
than
no, I understand.
there's a change in him that from the start to the series to the end. I think there's a big change actually.
Yeah, no, no. Your character is most relatable for me, so I completely get it. So like for both of you, the show explores, like you said, like they don't see each other as real people, but it also explores like how society is sort of like looking to virtual reality, to video games more for escapism now more so than ever. And you see it how it's accelerated in 10 and 50, 60 years. So what can you say about like when you're researching that kind of world? It's like, why is this such a popular form of escapism and why is it becoming increasingly more popular?
It's a question for me.
Both of you.
Um, I don't know. I think it's popular because well, it's fun. I mean, gaming. I was a gamer up until like I guess 12 years old. On like the old consoles, but it's a form of escapism.
Which console did you have?
I had the Sega Mega Drive. I think
Oh,
over
the
here
Mega
is the
Drive.
Genesis. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And my friends had Nintendo, and I was always like after school club, like had a different console, so I was getting a good like
Yeah.
yeah, I was getting some good like gaming in. But
What was your favorite game?
all right, so for Mega Drive,
Yeah.
it's got to be like classic Sonic, like Sonic
Yeah,
One, Two,
Sonic.
Three.
Terrific.
I love Streets of Rage as well.
Yep.
That was amazing.
Yep.
And then I used to play FIFA like just football
FIFA.
yeah, back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But now it's got to be Tekken 7. That's like
I haven't played 7. I haven't played 7.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Like yeah, and
Nice.
I'm like I'm good. I'm like I love that game. But yeah, I mean, like just how I am with those games, it's just a form of escapism. I think what you realize is in Wilf's world, you know, quite a lot of bleak like things have happened. Like a lot of huge events have really like shaken up the world and humanity. And I think yeah, it's just a form of survival. I think that's all people are trying to basically do, survive. And I think they use gaming and AR and VR as the method to do that.
Yeah, people like the gamer world because this world sucks. You know, I mean, you know, parts of it are okay, but you know, there's a lot of our world like it sucks, right? Where the rules suck, the hierarchies suck, the structure of it blows, like that. You know, it's poorly designed. The levels are ugly. You know, whereas in the game world, you know, it used to be. This is before the advent of microtransactions, all this other nonsense that they've shoved in the gaming world that starts to echo our world and the fundamental unfairness of it. But games were totally open playing fields. You go into it with your skill and your time and create, you know, it's kind of how the world should be in some ways. Some of gaming is a sort of utopian vision of it, of the possibilities. And that's why I think this really interesting moment we're in right now, we're starting to merge our online gaming selves with the real world. And there's a bit of a collision there. I think that's one of the things the series explores.
Awesome. Well, it came out great, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Love both of you, and I've admired your work for a long time, Jonathan. I could ask you so many things about The Dark Knight, and I love The Prestige as well. But thank you so much.
Oh, thank
I
you.
really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.